Are you going to do a countdown or five,
No,
four,
no,
three,
we're
two,
live.
one? We're live right now.
We are live right
Hey,
now.
listen, everybody. Kaylee took us live. Didn't even tell us we were going live. We are going live, but usually you get, okay, 5, 4, or 3, 2, and then go live, right? Didn't happen.
We're going live.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. We lost Jordan's mic.
No, that's okay. I'm here. I'm here. Russell, she just knew that you could roll with the punches. You know that.
She knows how I am. I do this all the time.
Yeah, you know what's up. So
man.
Welcome to the Parts Girl Live. That's happening. We have Jordan Cox with us. He's got crazy, awesome titles, but we'll let you introduce yourself. But you're with ASOTU, and I have my awesome co-host, Russell Hill, with Fixed Ops Marketing. So thank you.
Glad to be here, Jordan. So, I mean, I was just telling Jordan and Kaylee that I saw him on, Facts Not Feelings with Brooke.
Oh, with Brooke,
We're going to ask him some really in-depth, soul-searching questions. We're going to talk about ASOTUCON last week and everything that happened there.
I love it.
Jordan, welcome to the show. The Parts Girl, she's amazing. Kaylee is phenomenal.
She is, which, by the way, so the way that she's going in this industry is amazing because it's cool how she can take an idea and build an audience around that and be surrounded by amazing people. So, like, Kaylee, first off, thank you so much for what you're doing for automotive. Thank you for pushing through in fixed ops, especially in the parts industry. Like, that is so cool to see you do that. And, like, I kid you not, like, you're a superstar, and it's cool to be here with you. Like, seriously.
Awesome.
That's a wrap.
That's a show. That's it.
Well, you're super popular because we got a lot of people here. So this is awesome.
That's great. Oh, Brian Ortega's my boy. So is Larry Feldman. Oh man, love those guys.
Yeah, and we got Peter Smith. There we go.
Oh, Peter, love that guy.
I saw Larry. So people, let me ask you this: who are you? What do you do? What's your title? Tell everybody out there watching who you are.
You know, I get that a lot. They're like, who's this crazy guy that keeps on going and never stops running? He's like the Energizer Bunny. He can't stop. He's always talking and can't stop. So first off, I'm Jordan, and I do community for ASOTU. And if you haven't heard of ASOTU, like, that's my fault because here I am. It's my job to build awareness about what we're doing, the positivity that we're pushing towards in our industry, and really just building a community around great people like Kaylee, like Russell, and like people in our audience that are in Kaylee's audience right now. So what we're doing is we're trying to create that ideal for what we want to push towards together, and then we move towards that. That's really all we do at ASOTU. And we do that in a variety of ways. So, like, for example, Colby Joyner, like, that dude is on fire with everything he does.
Yep.
He's got a great personality.
Guy.
Exactly. He's so committed to what he does. And then also he's always so focused on what he's trying to do. So, man, like, I love Colby, love Brian Ortega, Russell, love you, Kaylee, love you. Like, there's so much stuff that you guys do that's great. And before we started rolling, obviously you guys were like, so what was with that weird title from Brooke Furness's show? So let's let you in on the inside joke real fast. So my fake title is Galactic President Superstar McAwesomeville, which it's a joke from one of my favorite TV series, How I Met Your Mother. And if you haven't seen that, you should go watch it.
That's amazing. I'd never heard of a title like that. Did everybody hear that out there? Yeah. That is one heck of a what does that actually encompass?
Man. Isn't that the cool thing? You can just make up a title and you don't have to do anything. Like, that's it.
I can't even repeat it. I'm not going to try. But I do want to know about the sunglasses. Like,
my word. They stay on my head all the time. So, Kaylee, it's funny. So, you and Brian are some of the first people to actually ask about the sunglasses. You want to know where this started?
Yeah.
Where?
Okay, so here's kind of how this started was like, for someone like myself, I have a very hard time knowing someone digitally and then matching that with them physically. Like, most people present themselves really well digitally, but and also physically, but I always had issues with facial recognition. And I was like, I wonder if other people have that same problem. So what I did was, like, no matter where I'm at, I always wear sunglasses on my head. And it sounds stupid, like, they're super chintzy. Like, I kid you not, they're $6 sunglasses off Amazon that I spray paint and customize because I want to customize everything. But that's kind of the story behind that. And I just always thought, I was like, dude, I want to make it so easy for people to walk up and be like, dude, hi, here's who I am. It's so cool to meet you, because like that's what I do to other people, and I want them to realize that they can do that. Like that's what it's about, is like loving people.
Signature piece is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, thank
coloring your hair a different color. It's
Yeah,
just
sure.
Yeah.
If you had purple hair all the time, like this is a super easy fix. Like this is $6, right?
It is.
Now, like this is an expository piece, isn't it? Because I've never shared that with anybody, nonetheless live on social media. So thank you
heard
for
it here
asking.
first.
Yes.
Kaylee broke the news.
Well, Brian actually asked the question. It reminded me because I remember something about sunglasses. So I'm like,
well, now I got to flip it on you, Kaylee. So you've got a pretty big date coming up. So tell us about that. Tell us like how like excited you are. Tell everybody about that. Like, tell us more. Come on. It's your story. Tell it.
Oh God. Yeah. No, I'm here to interview you.
Yeah, right. We got to flip this, right? Kaylee, when are you due?
Yeah, what do you do?
I'm having a baby I'm due on the 29th.
Yeah, man, so soon. So soon.
Can you not remind me? Because you should see the baby's room. It's not ready.
You're like, can you please stop?
Yeah, the baby shower is this weekend. I have nothing of anything really ready, but it is the second one, and they say with the second one you don't really like. It's just different.
It is different. You'll know. You know, it's always amazing. Growing up, I'd hear my parents say, you'll find out when you have your own. No, I understand right now. You don't understand jack diddly doo-doo until you have your own children. Then you start to understand. And it does, you know how you're real careful with the first one, the second one you're just tossing them in the shower and all.
Yeah. I feel that for sure. So Kaylee, I'm super excited for it coming up. That's like really cool the next 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm so excited for you.
But you also have news too. Great.
Hold on, drum roll. What is it, Jordan?
Ooh, boy. So on a similar note, we're expecting my second child due in March. How cool, right?
Congratulations, boy, girl.
Well, thank you. Oh, so we know. I just can't say that yet because there's some people that don't know. We've been kind of going through that the last couple of weeks. So, like, yes, my family knows. There's a few friends I need to tell first, and I don't want them to find it out on a live feed like this first before I tell them.
Okay, is it on LinkedIn then?
I get to guess. I want to guess.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You can guess. You can guess.
Okay,
I'm probably not gonna tell you. So I'll give you 2 options. It's either a boy or girl, right? It's one of those 2.
Hold on.
So what do you have now?
I have a girl, Olivia. She's almost 4.
It's going to be a boy then.
Yeah,
like 1 and 1. Oh, yeah. See, so that's what I thought too. And then one of my friends, they wanted to have one of each, and they kept having kids until they had one of each, like at least one of each, and now they have 5 boys. So that might throw a wrench in things.
It might, but listen, it's very exciting for both of you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Russell.
I'm done. No more.
Yeah, right.
4 grandkids.
Yeah. Oh man, and you've got the stories to tell, right?
I do, and you know what? Look, family. I'm telling you, family's everything. We got 3 kids, 4 grandkids. They all live within 9.5 minutes of us. And
no way.
When I'm not doing this or building the company or working with special people like Kaylee or Brooke, etc. Mostly, it's family, brother. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Russell.
Yeah. Tell us about ASOTUCON. Come on, man.
Let's do it. Right. Let's get to the beef. So last week we had one of the biggest events throughout the year for us, which was ASOTUCON. And what we do is we get together a ton of speakers, develop a ton of great panels to create some of the best educational content in the automotive industry. And it was a huge honor to do that and be a part of that last week. Now, keep in mind that so I've been in automotive retail for 10 years, but I only recently joined Team ASOTU. So I've only been on the team about 2 months now. So a lot of the planning, a lot of the execution, the event, like seriously, I can take 0 credit for that whatsoever because the team did an awesome job. I'm looking at people like Paul J. Daly, Kyle Mouncier, Kelly Verdi, a lot of people that were involved in the planning, the execution. I think of Al, who is the events director that we have. I think of Nathan Southwick, who did a lot of production for that. I think of all the editors we had, and people like look at ASOTU and they think, oh, it's Kyle, it's Paul, it's Michael Cirillo, and that's it. It's just 3 guys, but it's not. It's 11 of us.
It's a team.
Exactly. And it takes a ton to like be able to pull it off and execute it. And yes, it was hard, even for me, only having to be a part of it for 2 months. Yes, it was a ton of a heavy load. Yes, it was stressful, but man, my favorite part is getting to see people together to collaborate, to connect, to network, and just grow alongside each other. Like, that's really what we're passionate about, is creating the space for that. And we haven't seen that in automotive to the level that we want to make it. And even then, like where we're at now, it's not going to end there.
No,
we're already planning for next year. Exactly.
Yeah, this is
exactly
number 2.
Exactly. This was only
And
the second
I
time we've
already
done it.
heard night and day differences between 1 and 2. I
Thank you.
went online to get my ticket, and I couldn't even get a ticket. It sold out.
Yeah.
I could not even get a ticket. I was
Yeah,
fixing to
we
book the
sold out.
hotel and the airfare. I said, no, let me go get the ticket.
Yeah.
I got online. No tickets. I'm going, well, it worked out. But let me, okay, 2 months.
Sure.
And I'm sure in automotive before that. So it was your title that got you that gig, the one you just shared with us earlier. How did you get that gig with ASOTUCON?
Yeah, so that's a great question. A lot of what ASOTU does is all about connecting, collaborating, and kind of like raising each other up. And what I saw on the back end was a big alignment between what I was already doing in automotive retail. So I sold for 6 years at a independent franchise, and then I was in marketing for 4 years at a larger dealer group. We had 5 stores. And what was cool in the last 4 years was we were able to kind of shift from this, at least purely this old traditional way of marketing and communicating with our audience and our community, and we were able to pivot and start doing some cool, exciting, interesting things in a new way that didn't necessarily sell a car from that, but we knew if we got the attention, and we knew that if we could keep enough attention for a certain number of hours, get a certain number of views, that it would turn into residual traffic, and to the point where we would sell cars from that. And it's hard because you look at something like we were creating, they would say, well, how many cars did that sell? And you think, well, we don't really know, but we know that the way that we left people, how they felt, how they felt watching it, the way that they felt afterwards, we know that we left the audience changed, because we want to be able to tell that storytelling process. And I know I've shared this story a lot of times with with Brooke Furness. So huge shout out to Brooke Furness. Huge shout out to even Kyle and Paul before they brought me onto their team. I've had the chance to share this, but like what we did was we created media around our staff, and we created the stories around some of our frontline people about why they're doing what they're doing. And as you see now, like that personality trait of mine has a huge alignment with what we do at ASOTU. Yeah. Like, yes, there we go. It's love people more than you love cars. That's what it's all about. And we know that if we really focus on the person, whether it's an employee, whether it's a customer, whether it's someone in the community, like that's what is exciting for me. And we always use this analogy, like you pour into your staff, you pour into your employees, you pour into your team so that they can turn around and pour their best into your customers. That's how you do it nowadays.
It is. I remember this, this will date me, but I remember back in the mid 80s, I was already selling cars.
Sure.
And there was a guy named Leon Coca that turned Chrysler around. And I remember him in a speech, and he said, ladies and gentlemen, in the end, you can sum all businesses up to 3 things: people, products, and profits. And the most important of which are your people.
That's right. That's right. And a lot of times, exactly. So one of the other things he said was, we taught everybody else how to make the van, and they still couldn't do it. Do you remember that?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, like it's really, people are your most valuable asset. It's and really, like, that's it. And it's when you realize that, yes, people come to you with problems. Like, yes, you're a leader, yes, you're a manager, but they come to you, 1, because they care, and 2, because they know you can help change that. Even if it's a personal problem, you stop and listen to them. And those are some of the best leaders out there. I think of people like Katie Duncan from Mohawk Chevrolet in New York. I think of amazing GMs and GSMs that are in that role that just sit there and listen to their people and help guide them and help create that space. And that's really where the success comes from. And I hope you can see, like, I'm passionate about the people part. Like that's what I love.
No, you can tell, because I noticed what you do on social is you really share a lot of people's stories at dealerships. Sure. Yeah. And I think that's really cool, because it gets the message out, and it really helps just kind of show like what other people are doing at dealerships. And I think that's what ASOTU is doing with what's the TV series?
Exactly, like with More Than Cars.
More Than Cars, yeah.
Exactly, and that's where it comes down to it. Is it's not just about selling a car or selling a part or turning labor hours. It's the story that comes from that. And it's like the life-changing stuff, because here's a perfect example. If you check out one of the upcoming episodes, we shot one at West Her. And I'm not going to go into detail because I want you guys to watch it and experience it for yourself for the first time. But during that interview process with one of the employees there was a high-level manager that overheard the story, got more context about what's going on, and then decided to act on that to literally change this guy's life. And again, like, I don't want to share all these details about that, but that's what it's about is, and you know, here we are, like, we're just interviewing them. It was this manager that decided to make that change and to be a part of that and to champion his employee to like take it to the next level, because he didn't hear that before, but as soon as he heard it, he knew he needed to act on it. So again, like, stay tuned for that. Please watch the episode. You'll see that. I want you guys to experience it yourself, like, with fresh eyes the first time. That excites me. So that episode's not. Okay. Episode 1 is out. Episode 2 is premiering next week. And then we've got episode 3 and 4 shot. Those will be released here in probably the next month or two. And then by the end of this year, so December 31st, we're going to have 3 more episodes shot. So we're going to have all of season 1 done.
This is the best time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. It's on Amazon, like, video, or like, where can we find it? It's on the website.
It is. That's a great question. Right now, because we're doing a self-release, it's actually on morethancars.tv. So we're all self-hosting that and doing self-distribution. As soon as we have season 1 done, we've got a few networks that we're going to release there. So if anybody's listening right now or watching, you can go to morethancars.tv. You can check out our pilot episode. That's also a great place to experience the next couple episodes.
Love it. Yeah. Thank you. Wrote it down myself.
Yeah.
Did everybody get that? Did everybody get that?
That's right. That's right.
You got a pen or pencil handy? We'll wait.
Oh boy, they got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think they got it. But like, getting back to what you asked about Russell and Kaylee is, what were some of the key takeaways from ASOTUCON? And like, again, like, I know I said like some super high level stuff, but we had over 43 sessions that were extremely in depth. And one of the things that we did was we found the space to create collaboration between multiple reps at multiple dealerships, including with industry partners. So you're going to see a lot of panels that will have 3 or 4 people on stage talking about the same thing, but giving their take on different perspectives, which is cool. And it just kind of shows you that, yes, we might be here and our end destination might be here. And we know where to go, but there's kind of like, 3 or 4 or 5 different lanes to get there. And you can get there at your own speed and do different things. And it's cool to see that they're empowering everybody to do what's best for their store. So we've got 43 sessions that are going to drop. There's over 62 speakers that were involved in that. The best place to get those right now is to actually subscribe to our email newsletter. So I know that sounds silly, but like, seriously, you're going to see a lot of cool things coming through there. If you're not on the newsletter, you can go to ASOTU.com. Subscribe to it there, and you'll be a part of our daily newsletter that comes out just talking about all things automotive. It'll give you updates on what new sessions have been released. And then on top of those 43 sessions, we also released another 20 podcast episodes with people specifically that were at ASOTUCON. We were lucky enough to have a sponsor that helped us put that on, Effective. So we had a podcast stage that was for that. And we do have those out right now. You can check out ASOTUCON sessions, or you can go to YouTube and look up ASOTU, our channel, and you'll see all of the episodes live on there.
I just love how organized it all is. Like,
well, thank you.
It makes my brain feel so good. It's so organized.
Well, thank you. And Kaylee, like, as you know, because like it's hard to organize that, and it's hard to come up with those concepts. Yeah. But the team behind it has done a great job at making that executable.
It is all about the team, and you got enough material that really does a tremendous job building and solidifying your branding and awareness.
Exactly.
And the next one is, I couldn't even imagine what it's going to be like. Just the difference I heard between the first one and this one. So, I mean, and it's all about, there's something really magical happening. Yeah. And you could say, COVID was devastating. It was. But it has revolutionized our industry in such a way and connected us a way that we've never been able to connect before as a result of that. I mean, to get somebody to show up to a GoToMeeting or Zoom call pre-COVID, that's a Zoom call. I can do that.
What's a Zoom? It doesn't matter.
But I mean, it's such a small industry. But man, I'll tell you what. there's some really, really great people, and there's a paradigm shift that's taking place, I believe, in the industry in all aspects of it. And I'm just, there's not a better time to be alive in automotive than right now.
That's right. That's right. So, and just like you said, there's so many things that COVID changed about our industry. And I think of, okay, perfect example. The first time that I knew who Kaylee was through Clubhouse. And Clubhouse was something cool that came out of COVID. And I think it wasn't like they came up with that after COVID started, because obviously that started at the beginning of 2020 or even 2019 for the production of Clubhouse. But what people needed was a way to connect and a way to grow together. And I think that as a whole made everybody's eyes go from being like this to being wide open and saying like, wow, there's so much more to our industry that's going on out there.
It's amazing. I'm on at least 2.5 to 3 hours every morning. I start off at 4:30 with Glenn Lundy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I go to Modern Day, and then I mean, I
MDCS.
on and on and on. Yeah, Wendy's got one she does on Wednesdays. What is it? AI and something?
AI.
Exactly. There's an AI one. There's now BEV or BEV, everything that's on Wednesdays at 9:15 Eastern time. I think of Larry Feldman, who's also trying to, not trying to, he's been able to take lethal sales and do that every week now. Now that's not on like Clubhouse, but it's
on in just a few minutes.
It is, yeah. It is. It's like right after this. It's
Larry's in the chat somewhere. Larry, I see you. Are you there?
Yeah,
that's right. Larry, drop a comment, right?
He was here. Peter made a comment. That was a couple.
Yeah. So like getting back to ASOTUCON real fast, like the other thing that really excites me is that we're able to take people from outside of our industry that we can actually learn more from than people inside the industry. So I think of people like Jesse Cole, who is the owner of the crazy Savannah Bananas baseball team. He was our main keynote speaker. He talked about customer experience and taking fans first and making that like your ultimate priority. He left people feeling something with the 5 E's about how to effectively connect and to always engage deeply and things like that. And then one of my favorite things is at their baseball team, they throw out apparel. Jesse Cole does. Like, and you think apparel, you're like, oh, it's cool as t-shirts. No, at their baseball teams, they kind of flip it on their head and they throw out underwear. So David Long caught a pair of underwear.
Oh my gosh.
That's David Long right there showing it off. Yeah, exactly. And there's a banana on it, which is just freaking hilarious. So it's cool how you can take something like that and flip it on its head, and you can make it even like that much more engaging. Larry Feldman's looking for his sunglasses. That's hilarious.
You,
Larry. By the way, Larry Feldman can really make a dinner party fun. I'm telling you that right now. His jokes, his stories, all that. It's so hilarious.
I love how he's just like so like calm and serious too about things too. I'm like,
he's so composed about everything.
I take things so seriously. I'm like, wait, am I supposed to laugh at that one?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You don't even know it's coming. So a few weeks ago, I found the Wednesday night thing, and it's like I can't turn it off. So now it's I time blocked that to be in every Wednesday. Now I missed it last week because he did it from ASOTUCON at noon.
Oh sure, yeah. Oh. Yeah, he did it at noon. I think at noon last year.
Well, noon my time.
Oh yeah. I think it was like noon or 1 that time. Yeah.
Central time.
But yeah, like it's the connection, it's the collaboration that really we're trying to do to grow towards. And I think we've been able to prove over and over that when you get people that are committed to growing together and you talk about things that really matter that are trending in this industry, that's where the magic happens. And like, yes, we could have done it virtual. Yes, we could have just done it on LinkedIn. Yes, we are doing releases with those sessions on social. Sure. But the fact of being there and engaging deeply with people, and like, so Kaylee, I know because your due date's coming up, you weren't able to make it. But like, if you were there in person, I guarantee like it would be. It's magical. You know how that is, and that's what I look forward to. It's nuts. So like,
I know I'm like It's not disappointed because I'm having a baby, but I'm
that's right. You got other priorities.
They're so bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, come on the show and give me that energy.
Yeah, exactly. Pass it up to me, right? Pass it up to me. Yeah. So now I'm curious, like, what, based off what you guys saw, what were some of the coolest things you saw that happened at ASOTUCON last week? And like, yes, I know it's happening from third person perspective, but like, what were some of the things that really excited you that you guys saw?
Well, you know what I noticed? Just first, like the first thought is when I see the recaps and the videos, just the energy. Well, I'm talking about energy, but like the intros to the people and like how you guys get everyone so like pumped up is like, I don't think anyone ever really does that. And you guys have this way to achieve it. So that's what I noticed.
And it's about being so intentional about those transitions, because we know that it's so important, like every second that you have with someone. And that's why we've invested so much time into curating the correct topics with the correct speakers, all the way down to, just like you said, like the 30 seconds before it happens is super important. And even just the intentionality that goes into how we communicate with them beforehand. Like there's so much thought that they put into this. And again, like, it's not me, it's the team.
No,
I'm here for the ride.
I just got more and more ticked off, and it continues to be that way, because people were snapping pictures and sending me videos talking about how well orchestrated it was, and the accommodations, and the food, and the gambling, and I couldn't get a ticket.
Russell, why didn't you just crash it? Do like a wedding crash? Like, just totally could have snuck in.
I actually entertained that for a moment.
Russell, so now that we're friends, you can call me anytime for things like that. Okay. And I will make sure you have red carpet service.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not missing it. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's what I love about that. Okay. NADA is one thing, it's over the top. I love and this is why I want to be a part of ASOTUCON, is because it's not too big, it's not too small.
Exactly.
But it's all about the people.
That's
and
right.
The energy and the stories and the mixing, and it's I need that in my life.
Yeah. And I think you see that Peter pointed that out so precisely, is that what we were trying to create at ASOTUCON for those 2-3 days that we had everybody, we want them to realize that, hey, experience matters, and you should do that at your store with every interaction. Whether you're a salesperson that's physically working with someone, or you're in the service department and you're feeling overwhelmed because the phones are ringing off the hook, or you're in parts and you're frustrated because you've been on hold trying to get a quote on something. Like, it matters. And just taking that to the next step and saying, what can we do better on a daily basis with what we have? That's really what we're trying to do.
It is. The experience does matter. I found throughout my life that sometimes, people are going to remember that, and some of the stories will change a little bit, or they'll forget this, or they'll remember something last minute. But here's something that doesn't ever change: how it made you feel. That's doesn't change. The experiences tend to take on a life of their own, and I think that's true for most people, but that's my experience and strength and hope, is what I understand. I don't care if you go back to when you're 5, 6, 7 years old. You may not remember exactly what happened, but you'll always remember how it made you feel. That is an indelible imprint on who you are.
That's right. Yeah.
And that was ASOTUCON.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's cool that we were able to like orchestrate that, because there's just so much opportunity out there for everyone to grow. And what we're able to see now is that, hey, we've got this event where we were able to pull 400 people together. How do we make it even bigger and better next year? Not for our own sake, but for the education material for the frontline employees at dealerships. Like, that's what we're passionate about. How do we make that better so we continue that collaboration? And there were people that I met there for the first time that I had no clue who they were before ASOTUCON, other than I looked up what tickets and what people were going to be there.
Sure.
But like even going through and meeting those people and connecting with them and growing with them, Kelly Wilson's a good example. I knew who Kelly was, but getting to meet her, that we can connect with her, and to grow with her to the point where we can do that. I'm just super excited about that. Just because that's the future. It's collaboration, it's growth, and it's doing it together.
It's about people. I have to share the story. My son asked me. He's in the car business as well. He didn't do what I did. I bounced along, pasture, greener pastures, etc. He's been at the same dealership for 7.5 years. But many years ago, he said, Dad, how do you know if you're making the right decisions? And I said, well, what do you mean, Ryan? He said, well, you always seem to make the right decisions. And I laughed. I said, well, that's not the case, but thank you very much.
Yeah.
He said, no, really. And I always have these real simple formulas. He said, no, really. I said, okay, first of all, anything and everything that happens in our life revolves around other people.
That's
There's
right.
always people involved in our life. So if I win and they win, or if I win at the expense of them, it's not a good decision. So
That's right.
Keep in mind when you're making decisions, other people must benefit and be pulled up as well. And if they're not, you're going to find that usually the decision is not a good one.
No, for sure. And you guys probably realize this. Like, so Kaylee, it's not like you go in here and say, okay, you're going to have this guest on because there's a benefit to you, but there's actually a benefit to the people that are watching your show all the time or your podcast. And you do that for the best intentions of the end user so that there's so much value there. And that's what I think.
I had you on because I selfishly was like, I wanted it.
So there
was what you wanted. I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
Well, yeah, and then I said yes because selfishly I want to spend time with Kaylee. There you go, right?
No, this Kaylee has grown. I met her early COVID through
Really?
Our chief marketing officer. They, I don't know who connected with who, but all I know is
She connected with me. Yeah.
she connected with you. Anyway,
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
and just to watch her blossom and flourish the way she has, and this parts girl thing, and her
Yeah.
personality and the way she does things and everything, the whole persona is just amazing. She's an amazing person.
Isn't she great? Like,
Yeah, she is.
and I know it's easy to say that to you because you're here, but like, Kaylee, I kid you not. I was talking to my superior, Kelly Verdi, who's our creative director at ASOTU, and before, like a couple hours ago, I was like, hey, so here's what we're doing. Like, I really like Kaylee because of what she's built, and she's like, dude, I love Kaylee because she's been able to prove that you can go out and do this, and especially in the fixed ops world and that side of it, where it's not that it's looked down on, but from like one side of the spectrum, it's very hard for a female to succeed in that. And you've been able to prove that if you show up and you do it over and over and over again, like seriously, what you produce, Kaylee, is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything,
thank
like the
you.
intentionality, like your thumbnails, the way that you release
Yep.
your descriptions for your pod episodes, like it's so cool to see that. So like on behalf of your entire audience, like thank you for doing that, and like
Thank you,
keep on doing
Kaylee.
that. Seriously,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
No, she's
Thank you.
it's amazing. She just it's like well, you can't do that. I try. How many people try to do podcasts? They talk.
That's
Kaylee
right.
just gets on there and does it and figures it out along the way. And man, that's what everybody loves. You're so genuine and so real. Don't ever change, Kaylee.
Yeah,
Figure it
I
out.
agree. Yeah, but she's so great at that.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, there's a ton of things. So let's see. So what were some other things that we did? Obviously, there were like some giveaways. So I
swag.
think,
The
What's
swag was awesome. Like
oh
all
yeah,
the stuff.
exactly.
Like, it was like
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, how you guys
Yeah.
had it displayed. I saw pictures. And
Yeah, so
videos.
like scarves, shoelaces, clothing this year that we did to take it to the next level.
And the
We did
bag.
hoodies.
What's
Yeah.
the swag bag? Like everyone got a special bag, right?
That's right, exactly. So inside their bag, they got a bunch of stickers. They got a scarf that had collaboration critical with the ASOTU logo on it for this year, so that they have that to remember. Inside the bag, they also had shoelaces because we made custom shoelaces this year. I mean, they're always looking at trying to take it to the next
You
level.
see what I mean, Jordan? Okay, you said everybody got one, but Kaylee didn't get one, and I didn't.
That's right.
I mean,
Everyone
Yes,
that showed
I
up.
wanted to be there.
yeah.
So I
Russell
guess
was gonna sneak in, and I couldn't be there.
yeah. Well, I know I didn't share this with you guys yet, but after we stop rolling, I'm gonna get your address and we're gonna send you some cool stuff. Just because
man,
there's
you
so much important things about that. And anytime that we can like share some love to people like you guys are the people that deserve that. So thank you guys so much.
Aw,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Yeah, but
thank
like,
you so much.
I also think I don't know how much time we have, but like, and cut me off if I just keep talking. But I'm
No,
super pumped to be with you guys. Like I'm just super geared up to talk about last week. I think of people like John Foley. So ASOTUCON 2022. I kid you not, and the reason I know this story is because he just told me this last week. He left that event saying, "What can I do that is exciting for me and great for consumers?" So he left, and then he thought about it, and he was literally on the drive home. He sped home as fast as he could and wrote up a business plan for an independent EV dealership where all they do is EVs. So
Wow.
that day, he literally came up with the idea of Recharged, his retail store, which is really cool to see that.
That
And
is amazing.
exactly. And then it's cool to see him there this year. And like yes, of course, I didn't know the story beforehand, but like seeing him, connecting with him, knowing that story and hearing that from him, like from him telling that is so cool, because now you look at what he's done and what he's built. And like, yes, they had a public launch finally about 6 weeks ago, but like he's killing it right now. And it's not because it's the John Foley show. It's because he's meeting needs of consumers like in his area. And he's so great at that. And it's things like that blossom from this. And it excites me, the growth. And it excites me that we're changing automotive retail together. Like it's so cool to see that.
That is, I could only imagine, because I'm sure it's happened to all of us, but there's been so many people in my life where I wanted to step out because I was chasing a dream. Yeah. And they said, Russell, you can't do that. I tried that. That won't work. But I'm telling you, they got interrupted by somebody who just did.
That's right.
And I don't listen to those people. And it's really amazing. 95% of the population gets their information from the same 95% of the population has what they have or less than what they have. And they wonder why the hell they don't have anymore.
That's right. That's right.
Protect what goes in here. This is a hard drive. Get rid of all that corrupt software that don't let it in your head.
That's right. And you get to choose your mindset, you know?
That's right.
Yeah. And like you can choose to be positive and you can choose to create that. And like you literally create your environment around that. Hey, by the way, so Kelly Wilson, I see your comment. Yeah. You're going to get a swag bag. I'm going to get one sent to you.
Yay, Kelly. Oh, she's dancing now, baby.
Yeah.
And if I had known you didn't get one sooner, you'd be on the list getting some. So I'm sorry about that. You're going to get some. And I'll toss in a t-shirt for you too, Kelly.
See what happens when you show up with Jordan at Parts Girl Podcast. There you go.
Right. That's swag. Right. Now I get to get swag and rub it into other people's face. I got it.
That's right. Yeah, but like, I mean, you see a community of things created. So, man, what were some cool things? Like, yes, there are celebrities in automotive, and yes, they attended ASOTUCON. So I think of people like Sean Bradley or his daughter Tiana Mick. T got your keys, and the fact that Sean Bradley has been so successful in automotive, especially in the training aspect for 20 years, it's cool to see that. And like when I first started in automotive 10 years ago, like I watched his stuff and I was like, oh, dude, this is so cool. And I always thought in my head, I'm going to meet him one day. And I met him last week. How cool is that?
Yeah,
like, that's so cool.
His daughter's amazing.
She is.
Yeah,
so inspirational.
Awesome. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite talks that Tiana gave about that is just how you can grow through different alternate channels. And I mean, obviously Kaylee knows about that. It's not all about traditional mediums that you communicate with people. It's really about creating your own distribution or your own network and really taking a hold of that narrative and sharing it yourself.
Yeah.
And networking.
That's right.
Networking.
That's right.
It's all about connecting and networking. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like there's so much stuff that went on with that. Man, even seeing Jamie Butters again, who is the executive editor at Automotive News. So I met him back in April, and he really left an impression on me, because back in April when I met him at David Kane's digital workshop, which we shortened, we just call Kane and Friends. So, oh look, there's Tiana. Hey Tiana, freaking love you. You realize that? Thank you, Tiana. You rock. Keep being you. You're amazing. So great to see her. And so Jamie Butters was at David Kane's Kane and Friends event, and I said hi to him. Went up and introduced myself, and to him, like, I'm nobody. Later on, like 4 or 5 hours later, I walk up to him and just said hi again, like, hey, I'm Jordan, this and that. And he's like, dude, I know who you are. Like, you introduced yourself like 4 or 5 hours ago. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. So I walked away mind blown, because here we are. He's the executive editor of one of the biggest publications in automotive.
Yep.
And again, like, I kid you not, I was nobody to him. And the fact that he remembered my name, and it's people like that who are a part of automotive, especially in media, that is really showing the best of us and who we can be. And yes, we had him as a speaker last week.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
Yes, like I made sure that I went up and talked to him again. And yes, I let him know how excited I was and how much of an impact that made, because it's people like that who are intentional that need to keep doing the same thing like that to make more people feel that. And in fact, I got to share this with you. So Jamie Butters, oh my gosh, we had a panel, and we actually had this app that you could use on your phone. So during every single panel, every single keynote, every single discussion going on, you can actually go in on the app and ask questions live. When you go up to the stage. So of course, like I you probably realize this, but I'm kind of goofy, kind of weird, say like super off the wall stuff. So of course, I go to the Jamie Butters panel and I say, "How did Jamie Butters get so beautiful?" And then they ended up reading it on stage.
Oh, no.
My favorite part is Jamie Butters was like, "Was that Jordan that asked that question?" Like he picked it out just like that.
He knew it was you.
Yeah, I know.
And that goes to show that you do a great job with just what you do and how you just who you are.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
people
that.
Remember you because you're just you.
You're like that goofy guy.
You're goofy, but you also are very you're
Real?
into like you're into you like
Sure.
all your comments and because my interaction with you is online. I've never
Sure.
met you in person.
Yeah.
So I just feel like you're so like really what is the word, Russell, I'm trying to think of?
I don't know, but here's what I keep thinking about his microphone, damn microphone. That
Of course.
I mean,
We keep going back to the microphone, right?
I know.
Well, okay, look at behind him. He's obviously a musician, right?
Yeah, there you go. Ooh,
you-
there you go. Look at that.
We can talk about that. So
I got a longboard on the wall too.
yeah, I was like, what is that?
What is the
Yeah.
word, Kaylee? You must figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
So-
intentional. You're very like, you just make people feel like you like actually care. And I think you do. But
Yeah.
like
Well, like that, and that's what I hope people see is that I'm super intentional about it, for lack of a better words, like connecting with people and like seeing what excites them. And Brian Ortega is right on the money.
Brian,
Eccentric,
hit it, man.
weirdo. All we have to do is go to his LinkedIn profile and see all the things that people say about him too.
Authentic
Yeah.
and how about authentic and real?
authentic and real. Thank you. Gosh, all these words.
But yeah,
Oh,
like
you're good.
I hope. Oh, there we go. I don't know if that word means, Kelly.
Gregarious.
So I hope that people see after they talk to me and had spent time with me that they matter. And yes, that might sound surface level or like shallow, but I hope, Kaylee, that when I tell you that you're doing a great job and you need to keep doing that, I hope that you see that inspires you to keep doing that, because some of the best people in my life pushed me to do that. As far as they said, "Hey, you're doing a great job. Keep doing this." And all I can do is just do for other people what someone has done for me. And I think of my mentor that passed away back in December. I think of my grandpa. I think of other people like that who just went in and were very intentional and very loving. And they always went into a conversation trying to seek to understand someone else. And that's really what it is. There's so much value in Russell. There's so much value in Kaylee. And there's so much value in everyone you come across. And I kid you not, everyone that you meet, you can learn something from.
Absolutely. There's no. If I was to ask a salesperson on a scale of 1 to 10 how good they are, and they say a 10, they can't learn a damn thing. They're done.
You can't train them.
No,
Move
but
on.
here's what I have realized.
Yeah.
In my journey is that almost as much as breathing air to stay alive, just a few things people want to know they count, they matter,
That's right.
they make a difference, and they're a part of something instead of something bigger than just who they are. And
That's
if we
right.
can tap into that, that's where it all begins and ends. Do you agree?
Exactly. And I hope Kaylee agrees too. And that's really what we're trying to accomplish with the ASOTU is that, hey, we have a community of people that want to move in the right direction, not only for themselves, but for their family, for their team, and for the love of the entire industry.
Yep.
Because there's such a negative stigma that's attached to automotive salespeople or automotive retail. And the truth is, does that happen? Yes. But does the majority of the time? No.
No.
Most people have a great experience or a good experience that just never gets talked about.
No.
It's so easy to dog on someone.
It really, when of all the social media stuff I'm on and all the circles I'm in, anytime anybody says anything about parts, they automatically think Kaylee.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm serious. They do. The parts girl.
Exactly.
I mean, you have the color, the thumbnails are like
right.
what Jordan
The
was talking
brand as a
about
whole.
earlier.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yes.
when you think about parts, you don't think about you think about Kaylee. Come on.
Yeah. But no, seriously, like that's a very real thing because her branding and her intentionality is there. And it works out like that every time. And if we can teach frontline employees how to do that, just like how Russell was talking about, then we can change not only the industry, but also how the people that we help leave changed. There's a two-way street to that. Like, yes, we can pour into our staff and make them better, give them a better life, but we can also teach them to give their customers a better experience so that they walk away changed and they walk away loving life and they walk away realizing that, hey, there's so much good out there if you just look for the positive.
And it all starts with me. It all starts with you.
Yes, that's right.
And it all starts with Kaylee.
Exactly.
Somebody's got to get started.
Exactly.
Stay in your own lane, run your own race, but listen, be careful who you associate with, okay?
That's
there's
right.
There's got to be fruit on the tree. If the branches are bare, au contraire, stay away from them. Okay.
No, seriously. And like even I think of my mentor. I have a couple of mentors, but one of my mentors, Zach McVicker. One of the things that him and I have talked about recently is how do you take someone that keeps saying, "Why can't they do this? Why can't I do that?" and change that mindset to, "What do I need to do? What can I do? And how do I create change?"
That's right.
And as soon as you like get the change in thought, well, in the communication part of it, and work backwards towards the thought, then all of a sudden you can change what's going on up here. And that's super exciting.
It really, it's like people ask me sometimes, Russell, I mean, we know the definition of sanity, right? Keep doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Yeah, exactly.
We also know the greatest predictor of future behavior is their previous behavior. So
that's right.
So listening to what Jordan just said and some of the things we've talked about on how do you get a different tomorrow? And there's only three things. I'm just keeping it simple. What you read, what you listen to, and who you associate with. If you don't input something new, not tomorrow, today, then you're going to get the same output because all you are is a sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, and read and done up until this moment. So change those things. And I promise you that new input will dictate new output and your world will change. Get a mentor.
That's right. That's right. And also like, I think that a lot of growth happens in vulnerability, especially when you're doing it on the correct team and with a leader who's willing to be vulnerable with you. And if you're really having like that opportunity to have those hard questions or those hard conversations and you ask the right questions, then together you can create change. And like that inspires me. And there's a lot of times where people say that, again, like my automotive background comes from the majority from the variable ops side. So people always say that sales is life and life is sales. Like, yes, that's true. But like, think of it as bigger than that. Like everything we do is so interconnected with everything else.
Oh man.
That if you change your thought process so that you can really drive positive change in how you think, which then in turn turns into actions, which then turns into habits, and then your habits turn into who you are.
That's right.
Because just like you said, Russell, it's an accumulation of your actions over time is really who you are.
Yeah, you said something really powerful. You have to be vulnerable.
That's
we
right.
all get hurt. We all
we all screw up.
We all screw up, and
I screw up a lot.
Me too. We put people on a pedestal, and then we find out they're human just like us, and they fall short.
Yeah.
But don't let that ever shut you off in life and love and everything else. If you're afraid to be vulnerable, you're just cutting your own self off at the knees.
That's exactly right. And man, so I hope you guys can see like I'm excited talking about people and talking about like positive, like how to create that positive change. Yeah.
People power.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is who we are. We're people, and this
That's
is
right.
how like you guys talk about my growth, and like I feel like I went through a very vulnerable state and like, you know, putting myself out there.
And you have to.
Yeah, you have to. It's like you literally like have to do it, or else it's like, what are you gonna? What's the saying go? Like if you don't do it, the time's gonna pass anyways. So just do it.
That's right. That's right. And I think back to, again, like in automotive retail, when we created trainings for our staff of 90 salespeople, or we tried to integrate video, and we told our people over and over and over again, all right, the first time you shoot a video, it's going to suck. The 10th time you shoot a video, it's going to suck a little bit less. But if you keep doing it over and over and over again to the point where you do 100 or 1,000, dude, you are going to be a baller. But you got to get through the first time. That's really about it. And Kaylee,
just get started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like Kaylee, I don't know how long it took you to like think about that and process that and go through and execute what Parts Girl really is. But I know that once you did, like it was probably really hard because you think like, oh man, like what do people think of me? Like, what are they going to do? Did I say something wrong? Did I say too many uhs? Did I say so too many often? Was my voice tonality okay? Did I bring enough energy? Did I have the wrong color? Like all those thoughts go through your mind and it's okay.
The positive thing about Parts is not a lot of people know about it, so I could just say anything.
That's good. Yeah, very good.
So you're saying that's the secret.
That's right.
That's the secret. Just say anything. No.
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
Oh my gosh.
No. A lot of people know about Parts. Just kidding.
But seriously, Kaylee, like how hard was that to go through, let's say your first 10 episodes? Wasn't that hard?
Oh my gosh. It's so, I don't even want to listen to them.
Yeah, but you have to get through that, right?
Yeah, you have to get through it because it was so hard.
Yeah, and it goes that way with anything. And so I only started doing this recently, where if I appreciate someone and I want them to know that, I'll pick up my phone and shoot them a 30-second video and send that to them.
You did that to me. I thought that was so cool.
That's powerful.
And I think what it does is it shows the intentionality and like how serious you are about what you say. And I hope that other people can do the same thing with more people, because like Kaylee, if I just sent you like a text or a DM and said, hey, appreciate what you're doing, love it that you're doing this, love that you're doing that, that is such a huge difference than even what my voice was, and then also what you're able to physically see as a whole. So
well, that, and then now that we do text DMs, like I can hear your voice and your excitement through the text.
You can hear that silly voice, right? But like it's very good to establish that with people who don't know you, and two, I think it's just important to say, hey, I was thinking about you, I appreciate you. And that goes such a long way. And even if you don't want to do a video, like shoot someone a text.
Yep.
And I think of, I even think like, perfect example. I won't tell you who it's from. I won't tell you what it's about, because that's not what it's about. Somebody sent me a text today that saw something that we did a week ago. And they said, hey, I know that was hard. I know that you got through it, but I want you to know that you knocked it out of the park. Good job. Keep doing that.
Wow.
And the fact of even someone doing that and recognizing that, like, dude, that goes such a long way. And if you're on a team with people can be 90% of your problem, or they can be 90% of your solution. Like, there's so much of that goes such a long ways. And if you're willing to listen and hear how people are feeling and how people are speaking, or how they're not talking to you, then I think you're able to break through that. And that's, again, like, I think you can just tell I'm excited about that.
Well said. No, you're authentic.
You are.
Absolutely. No, that.
We've been going for about an hour too, so I normally go for like half an hour.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, it's been great. It's been great, because this is my last time I get to even co-host, and I did it with Jordan Cox.
So you're saying, Russell, we need to do like an all-night marathon? Is that what's going on here?
We can do that, or maybe I'll have you on our podcast. So,
yes, you should go on his. Yeah. Go on WTF, because
there we
your
go.
podcast is great. And Russell, you'll be a co-host again.
I will. Okay.
Yeah. So I
was sweating it, man.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, gotta knock this out of the park.
No, you helped, because I'm like, man, I don't know what to ask these people sometimes.
Yeah, right. Kaylee, you do a great job at that, and Russell, you do too. And
it's just rolling with it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's taking what you get and making the most out of it. Before we go, Kaylee, I got a couple questions for you, and this is like super important for me to know, and I believe it's super important for your audience to know. How did you know to start doing Parts Girl?
How did I know? Honestly, I feel like I'm trying to think back, because it's been a couple years. I That's a hard question. I think I saw when I was getting active on LinkedIn, I saw people using in their headlines like they were the go-to this or they were the go-to that. So
Yeah.
I honestly didn't really think of it myself. I just was like, I'm in parts. I want people to know that I have a part solution, or if I can't help them, I know ways to help them, because that's all we live and do is parts.
Yeah.
So that's really why I think I just started the Parts Girl. I was like, I guess I'm the go-to parts girl.
You make it sound so easy. You realize that?
It
But then
was
also, I guess here's the follow-up question too, Kaylee, is how long did it take after you started and established to the point where you're like, okay, we're moving in the right direction? Because there's that hesitancy, I think, that comes anytime you start. Like, so how long did it take?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I feel like it was a good couple months, or 6 months. I know when I initially was talking to my bosses about LinkedIn, and I was like, I think we need to go a little different direction in marketing. Like, I think I need to like share me, like who I am. And
Funny thing about that, you share about people and you get more people involved, right?
And like, I remember them being like supportive, but like, I don't know about this, because they're old school, like, and then once it started like working, I'm like, this is like, I'm connecting with people, because this is what it's about.
Yeah.
It is.
No, that's great. So like, I even think of side story real fast. So you said that your boss, or maybe the multiple people involved, were a little hesitant about that, especially with them attaching their brand directly to who you are and what you're trying to accomplish. And I've seen that a lot, because they always think, and I'm not saying this about you, so let me take it back to someone else. So let's say we're in the automotive retail space and we have a salesperson that we attach a very specific quality piece of content to. And they think, well, what happens if they leave? Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to have to go back and delete that? Like, dude, no. We're going to keep it.
That's right.
Because their story is meaningful no matter what point in time you view that in. That's who you were. And especially when they're sharing about your culture, sharing about your team, or how they treat your customers, that is always going to be meaningful, especially in the marketing realm. So like, huge props, especially to your bosses. Like, if they really are old school, like I think they are, because they're in like the service parts world, which is a lot more stereotypical, especially in like the bell curve section. So huge props to them for seeing the value that you have and the value that you can bring when you connect that and create that. And obviously it's worked out. Like, I hate to say it to you, but this is a very successful brand.
It is.
That's the truth.
It is.
Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's so awesome to hear.
It is. I'm still thinking old school. And I'm thinking, oh, that's kind of a slight against me. I'm probably older than your bosses, Kaylee.
No, you're probably about the same age, maybe.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Sorry.
No,
but it's good to have the old school in there.
Yeah, but think about that real fast. Look at every single automotive retailer across the United States. What's the likelihood that the person in charge, or the average age of the managers or directors or owners of that group, what's the likelihood that they've been in automotive retail so long that they've been doing it since before 2000? It's very likely. And they weren't even around. Like, I don't even know how you did parts back then. What'd you do? Like, fax stuff to people? Like, hey, seriously, you called? Like, I don't know. It just seems very complicated, because now it's so easy with the internet and the way you can plug in and transfer data that quick and place orders with people. I don't know what that would look like beforehand. I know it was a super pain in the butt on the sales side.
I can tell you this.
Rewriting contracts when you mess up an interest rate on one page.
Listen, I used to desk deals with a 10 key.
Oh, my word.
Yep. Money factors, lease payments, everything just a 10 key. That's it. That's how I did. I was ultra fast.
Yeah, Robert says microfiche. I have no clue what that is, but it does sound old.
Are you? No, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I remember, Robert. I love you, Robert. You're awesome.
I'm like, man, Robert's not even that old.
Yeah. His dad taught him. No, his grandpa taught him. How's that sound?
Robert's an amazing
I freaking
guy.
love Robert.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You did.
Oh my gosh, Brian Ortega.
Did it again.
Okay.
Jordan,
No,
are
but
you
like,
known to do this? Is this a habit with you? Do I need to be prepared?
Okay, do you want to hear where this comes from? Is I genuinely care Yeah, see, Robert's not that old enough, so it's his dad or his grandpa. But
Yeah.
I genuinely care about hosts so much that I want their audiences to know the exact same answer that they're sharing with me. So like Kaylee, like your answers were like super easy. You're like, oh, like it just did it this way and it was successful and it worked this way. And I know the part that you're leaving out was the dedication that it took for years to make that happen. And I hope that your audience sees that, because it's super important for them to know that you're a living example of, if you really want something, you go out and do it, and you do it over and over and over again. Same thing with you're a manager and you're trying to get change out of your people. If you tell them once, what do you do again? You tell them a second time. You tell them a 10th time. You tell them 100th time, until it really falls into place, because that's what we do.
It is. Well
Yeah,
done.
you totally took over. This is great. We have to go to Larry's show now.
Oh, that's right. You're right. We gotta
We're
like
coming, Larry. We're coming.
Larry will be right there.
Well, thank you so much, Jordan, for
Oh,
coming
man.
on the show, man.
What an
Oh, man.
honor.
The
What an
like the
honor.
pleasure's all
The
mine.
best one yet. This is
Oh my
really,
gosh,
like,
whatever.
so fun. No, it
Kaylee,
was.
Kaylee, like seriously, the pleasure's all mine, because it's cool to connect with great people like you, and to talk with great people like you, nonetheless create content that can affect change in people that watch that. And that's, again, like I've said this like 100 times, but that's what I'm passionate about, is like helping people be the best version of themselves. Like it sounds stupid, it sounds vague, it sounds shallow or cliche, but like that's really what I'm trying to do. And thank you so much for letting me be a part of this, Kaylee. And Russell, I know we just met. I know we just like LinkedIn, and we just got linked up on LinkedIn, but I freaking love you.
I love you too, brother. This is just the beginning.
That's right. Just the beginning.
Yeah,
We got so much more time.
Yeah, I'm honored that I'm a host, co-host on here as well, and some of the people we've interviewed. It's been amazing. So thank you very much, Kaylee, for all that you do.
Kaylee, thank you so much.
2 parts girl. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.